Okay, it's what I call a non-controversy. Okay, a non-controversy. It involves the President of the United States. He was talking to a bystander briefly outside the White House because at these invited events, you've been to them. Sometimes people can get up to the president. And then an Easter Bunny mascot walked by. It's a short moment. Here it is.
Pakistan should not, and Afghanistan should be.
Oh, the Easter Bunny, Easter, Mr. President.
That's it. And that's all it is. And so we wouldn't even talk about this on the news, but I do want people to understand when we talk about the two worlds that we live in America, we're not talking about debates over policy. You and I, fine, you mentioned earlier you've been at it longer than me, but we've both been around times where you debate the policy and someone says, I think the federal government should spend less on schools, leave it to the local. And other people say, no, some of the poorest schools, they're going to need more federal money. That's just a debate. I'm not going to say that people who have a different view one way or the other are somehow on a different planet. Those are policy debates. That's not where we are anymore. The moment I just showed you, which is nothing, showed up in at least 4 different top shows on Fox News arguing that that random holiday moment means there must be something wrong with the president.
Biden was fumbling through questions about foreign policy when a staffer in an Easter Bunny costume appeared out of nowhere and led him away.
He is so obviously struggling cognitively.
The White House has found a new strategy to shield Biden from tough questions. A staffer dressed up as the Easter Bunny.
We do know that he's not running this show. He's just
Who do you think is running the show?
I don't know, but I can't believe it's him because he seems so out of it all the time.
James.
Again, what we talk about early is weird people. These are some strange, different, weird people. They're not like the rest of us. And they do that, in the same thing is like they fragrantly pull for Russia. They're just different. They have a different thing. It's strange that you would pick a moment like that, been to the Easter egg roll before on the White House lawn, but it doesn't matter. Strange people say strange things. And that's literally, I believe that is really one of the problems in America. You wouldn't do something. No normal person would make something out of that. Yet they'll generate a talking point in the morning and they're all talking about it. It's very weird, Ari. It really is.
I'll tell you this, and I hear you on that. I hear your theme of the day, but I think you make a fair point. It is wrong because if you have the position to speak to millions of people, you have some obligation to work within reality. And when you do what they're doing there, some of the people watching will become information victims, meaning, you got a family member. If all they watch is Fox News, they're going to show up at the barbecue telling you, well, they just lead him around with the Easter Bunny suit. I mean, this becomes one more thing, and it's BS. And it's corrosive to trying to have self-governance where we could talk about reality and policy and not the fever dreams of what I just showed. 4 different hosts trying to make a meal out of Easter eggs.
Well, is that the strangest thing that they've done? I don't know. There's a whole lot of competition that's going on there. I mean, it's fun to bring it out, and it shows people, and it shows Democrats or people that are watching this program just what's going on over there. And it's time to wake up and start branding them and branding ourselves to talk about the things we've done, the competitive edge that workers now have that they never had before, the number of children that have been lifted out of poverty, the real things that are happening in this country. I think the president's done a magnificent job, as do most people, on Ukraine, which is a major world crisis. And they're going to Hungary and having meetings. And literally they're saying, well, maybe, everybody's got to, it's both siderism. Well, you have the Ukrainians and you have the Russians. That's very strange. That's very strange.
As you said, and there's a silliness to it, which we spotlighted, but there's also a seriousness, which I appreciate your ending on, which is the courting and the mainlining of authoritarianism at home and abroad while they're mass graves, while we're facing the reality of what that is, and what that means for us as a nation. James Carville, on More Than One Topic, always good to see you, sir.
Always, all right. The Easter Bunny will get you at the end of the day. Thank you.
Sooner or later. I'm always looking for the Easter eggs. Good to see you, James.